Well, welcome everyone to my front room, and I have arranged it here so there's a bit of space for a yoga mat, and I'm thrilled to be with you this morning. We are together separately, and I have come up with a flow that is going to open your hips. I know we've probably all been doing a lot of sitting. We feel the weight of gravity on our shoulders, that compression, that compaction. We're just going to give ourselves the next hour to find some opening, to find some grounding. And our body needs movement, and our mind needs stillness. So you're here now and giving yourself these moments to just check in and to be here, this gift of time that we have. So as I've mentioned a couple minutes ago, if you can have a blanket, I'm sitting right now on a blanket, or even a bath towel, if you can have that on your mat, we're going to start our practice today in Makrasana, in crocodile pose. So taking your blanket or your bath towel and putting it about midway down your mat, so about halfway down, and then coming over onto your stomach into Makrasana. Your feet can be wide apart or your toes can be angled in. And Makrasana, you can take your forearms and stack them, placing your forehead on the back of your forearms, or you can make a pillow with your hands, stacking one palm on top of the other, hands down on the earth, and placing your forehead right here on the back of your hands. And notice here in this pose that your eyes automatically close. When you're pressing into that space in between your eyebrows, it activates the pineal gland. And this is a gland that is located in between your right and your left hemispheres of your brain. And it is responsible for producing and secreting melatonin. So if ever you feel stressed or anxious, just to place your forehead on the back of your hands. It's a very relaxing pose. You can start right here to tune into your breath. Feel the belly rise on inhale, pressing into the mat, onto your blanket. The exhales, your belly button draws back towards your spine. And just take a few rounds of breath like this, inhales and exhales, coming into your breath through your nose. The yogic breath is done in and out through your nose. This helps filter the breath, and it also warms the breath as it reaches your internal organs. And then lifting your head up slightly, taking your hands and moving them right underneath your shoulders. Press into your hands, lift yourself up, and take your hips back over your heels. Find child's pose. You can move yourself slightly to bring your knees onto your blanket, and then sink back one more time with child's pose with your knees supported. Or you can stay right where you are, extending the arms out long, and breathing into this pose. Now inhale, lift up on your fingertips and walk your hands over to the right, sinking your hips back down, hips on your left heel. Taking a side stretch here. Just bringing your breath into wherever you're feeling any tightness. trying to soften there. Inhale, come back onto your fingertips. Walk your hands back to center, sinking back into child's pose. And now lifting back on your fingertips, walking to the left now. Sinking your hips back onto your right heel, releasing your head, noticing how the stretch feels on this side. And then inhale, come to center. One more time, child's pose. I know that at any time during this practice, you want to come down to child's pose, take rest. This is always available to you. So rising up now onto your hands and knees, come to tabletop position. Your wrists are right underneath your shoulders, your knees are right underneath your hips. You have a nice neutral spine, and your gaze is towards the front of your mat. On an inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, parallel with the earth. Trying to drop that right hip slightly, squaring the hips. Staying right here. If you want a little bit more, inhale, bring your left hand out in front of you, thumb towards the ceiling, finding that long line of energy between the left fingertips and your right heel. And then taking your left hand out to the left corner, right leg out to the right side, this awkward bird dog. Just notice your muscles engaging here to hold you here. Inhale, come back to center, bird dog. Then release your left hand down. Keep your right leg extended, and then take this right leg and cross it over the left, placing your right toes on the earth, pressing back into the toes, and then gazing over your left shoulder. Another lateral side stretch. Inhale, come back to center with your leg. Exhale, release the right leg down. Coming to the left side now. Inhale, lift the left leg up behind you, parallel with the earth. Rounding down through that left hip. Then inhale, reach the right arm out in front. Finding balance here in this bird dog. Drawing the belly button up towards the spine. Then inhale, take the right arm out to the side, the left leg out to the left side. Balancing here in this awkward bird dog. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release that right hand down. And now take your left leg and cross it over the right, placing your toes on the earth and gazing over your right shoulder. Taking a few deep breaths right here, noticing this side. On your next inhale, bring your leg back to center. Exhale, release that knee down on your blanket. Now here from tabletop pose, we're going to come through a flow, walking your hands, one handprint forward on your mat. So it's a bit of a wider stance in this tabletop. And then inhale, draw your torso forward, coming to this diagonal line. Your shoulders are over your hands. Exhale, lower all the way down to the earth, elbows in. On an inhale, lift the crown of your head up, heart center up for cobra. Draw your elbows together, shoulders down your back. And maybe here, hover your hands off the mat. Taking one full round of breath here. Exhale, place your hands down. Press into your hands, lift back up to puppy pose. So in puppy pose, your hips are up towards the ceiling. Then inhale, flow forward to that knee down plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the earth. Inhale, lift the crown of your head up. Cobra. Exhale, release down, press into your hands, and bring your hips back to puppy pose. Inhale, flow forward. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, find cobra. Exhale, nose to the earth, press back to puppy dog pose. Take this flow one more time with your own breath. Coming forward, knee down plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, nose to the earth. Lift your hips up and back to puppy dog pose. From puppy dog pose, you can release all the way down onto your heels into child's pose, maybe sweeping your hands down next to your feet, releasing your head down to the mat. Or if you'd like, you can keep the arms outstretched in front of you. You can bend at the elbows, bringing prayer hands behind the neck to get a shoulder stretch, the wrist release, and find your breath here. Wherever your hands are, come back up and find tabletop position. So that neutral spine. One more time, we'll take our handprint, one handprint forward on the mat. And from here, curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back, finding your first downward facing dog, maybe pedaling out your feet, walking your dog. Taking any movements that feel organic to you right now, just to start warming up the hamstrings and glancing forward at your hands, making sure your fingers are spread wide and you're distributing the weight through the palms of your hands, all the way up through the fingertips. Take one full deep breath here, in and out through your nose. On your next inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk your hands back, coming over your blanket or your towel into this forward fold. Taking opposite elbows, swaying from side to side, ragdoll pose. Then releasing your hands down and bringing your hands behind your back, finding a clasp here. Extending your arms straight. You can keep your arms on your back, or if your shoulders are a little bit more open, maybe extend the knuckles towards the ceiling and over your head for a shoulder stretch. Releasing your head, maybe shaking no, nodding yes. Then releasing your hands down to your low back and down towards your feet. Rounding down now through your feet with a gentle bend in your knees. Inhale, rise up, nice long spine, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Maybe closing your eyes here, acclimating to being standing, Tadasana. And we'll continue to warm up the spine in 6 different directions with some sun salutations, starting from the back of your mat. So the blanket is in the middle. We'll just be walking our hands over the blanket. Your feet are about hip width apart, toes facing forward. On your next inhale, lift your arms up to the ceiling. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Reach up through those left fingertips. Exhale, lateral bend over to the right. Your gaze is forward or maybe up at the left elbow towards the ceiling. Grounding down through that left foot, reaching through those left fingertips. Nice and slow the first time. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, left hand to left hip, reach up through the right fingertips. Exhale, over to the left. This time, grounding down through that right foot, reaching through those right fingers, feeling this lateral stretch, standing now. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, turn your torso towards the right, T-twist. Arms open up towards the right. Your gaze can be forward or your gaze can be over the right shoulder, looking back at those right fingers. You're twisting from your navel, so try to keep your pelvis forward. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, open up to the left now. Extending to both sets of fingers. Turning from your navel. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms open, heart center towards the ceiling, slight tuck in the tailbone. Gentle back bend here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway up for length. Your fingertips can be on the ground, on your blanket, or on your shins. The crown of your head is forward and your tailbone is reaching back. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, look up and walk forward, coming to plank pose at the top of your mat. Roll to the balls of your feet, so coming towards the toes of your feet, so your shoulders shift over your fingers. And from here, drop your knees down, come to the tops of your feet, lowering all the way down, just like we did in the beginning. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, nose to the earth, pressing into your hands, coming to tabletop, curling your toes under, lifting your hips up, downward facing dog. Taking a few rounds of breath right here. Inhale, feel your belly expand. Exhale, feel your belly button go back towards your spine. Your hips are high to the ceiling, so you can have a nice bend in your knees to help get that long spine. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk your hands back over your blanket, your towel. Taking ragdoll arms again, swaying from side to side. Pausing in the middle. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, inhale, lift. This time, your right hand encircles your left wrist. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lateral bend over to the right. Your gaze can be straight ahead or looking up at your bicep. Inhale, come to center. Encircle the right wrist now and exhale over to the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, T-twist, open to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, T-twist, open to the left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus arms open. Tuck your tailbone. Release your shoulders down your back. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, walk over your blanket, come to plank pose.
Rolling to the fronts of your toes. Release your knees down, come to the tops of your feet, and lowering all the way down, elbows in. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, nose to the earth. Come back to tabletop. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. This time take opposite elbows, making a frame around your head. Exhale, bend to the right. Just noticing how the change of arms changes how you feel in your body. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, bend to your left. Inhale, center, release your hands. Exhale, T-twist, open to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, open to your left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus, arms open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, walk to the front of your mat. Coming to plank again and taking a moment to roll to the fronts of your toes. And here, you can either lower your knees down or with straight legs, come down to chaturanga, a yoga push-up, halfway down. Inhale, roll over your toes. Lift your heart center forward and up for up dog or cobra. You find your back bend. And then exhale, curl your toes under, and everyone meeting downward facing dog. Now, straight legs is always an option, but it's not an option you need to choose. Whichever variation works best for you right now, whatever you need, take that. This is your practice. One more full deep breath right here. And we're going to begin our flow from this downward dog position. So on your next inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, coming to three-legged dog, and take a moment to take some ankle circles. One direction, then the other direction, just warming up the synovial fluid in the ankle joint. And then coming to the ball of your left foot, drawing your right knee towards your nose, and then planting that foot in between your hands at the top of your mat. You can use your hand to help your foot up there as well. Coming to this low lunge. Dropping your left knee down, come to the top of that foot. Drawing this right hip back, left hip forward. Nice stable pose in the base. And then bringing your hands to the top of your thigh. This low lunge here. Finding your breath, finding where you're balanced. And then here, just a small movement, but an intense movement all the same. So curling under your back toes, your knees on the ground. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, lift your back knee up, straighten that back knee. And then release that knee down to the earth. And again, inhale. Exhale, straighten your leg. Inhale, release. One more time. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, release. And just notice how that left hip feels. Staying here with your hands on your thigh or inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Rolling your shoulders down your back. Feeling where you're grounded into the earth, but also feeling where you're lifted up. Equal opposite directions.
And like we did in the beginning, we're going to T-twist. We're going to open to the right. So bring your right hand back, left hand forward. You can take the left hand, place it on the outside of that right knee. And gaze back at those right fingertips. Noticing that left hip flexor. Taking the right hand now down your back leg. Lifting your left hand up and over for this reverse revolve. Slowly working in this one direction. Intensifying as we go. And then taking the left elbow and hooking it on the outside of the right thigh. Taking your right hand, bring your hands to prayer twist. You might want to take your right hand, place it on your thigh for leverage, so you can work this left arm a little bit more on the outside of that thigh. Hands to heart center, prayer twist with your knee down. Or if you want a little bit more, you can lift your back knee up. And if you fall out, you just laugh and you come back in. It's a balancing pose, a twisted pose, gazing off that right elbow. With your next exhale, look down at your right foot, unwind your torso, plant your hands around that front foot, and then step your foot back to three-legged dog. Right foot up in the air, and then exhale, let that right foot float down. Just pausing here in down dog, noticing the left and the right sides coming to your breath. I will come to my breath too. And if you want a rest in between sides, you can always sink your knees down to child's pose, to puppy pose. But we'll begin again, downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg up now. Taking those ankle rotations to the right, to the left. Creating space and length. Coming up to the ball of the right foot now, looking between your hands. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose and plant your foot in between your hands at the top of your mat. Coming down on your right knee now. And then bringing your hands to the top of this left thigh. Drawing the left hip back, right hip forward. Find where you're grounded down, but you're also lifted up. A regal position here. Then taking your back toes, curling them under, and we'll take that small move, an intense move that will get a little bit deeper into this right hip flexor. A deep inhale here. Exhale, straighten your back knee. Keeping your hips low. Inhale, release. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, release it down one more time. Exhale, straighten that back knee. And then release your knee down to the earth. Sweep your hands up to the ceiling for this low lunge. Pulling the shoulders down your back. And now taking a T-twist, opening, turning your torso to the left, opening your arms out. Taking your right hand on the outside of your left knee and extending back to those left fingertips. Breathing here. Noticing this side. Maybe sending breath wherever you feel a little tension. Just softening in. Taking the left hand down your right leg. Inhaling, sweeping your right arm up and over for the reverse revolve. You can gaze over that left shoulder. Then on an inhale, take your right
arm and hook your elbow on the outside of your left thigh, bringing your palms together and maybe taking your left hand, placing it on your thigh to help twist your body a little bit deeper into this pose, palms together, staying right here in this prayer twist, gazing over that left elbow. Or if you want a little bit more, you're feeling strong and stable, straighten that right leg up behind you, prayer twist. Breathing here, even though you're in a twist, you're still breathing deeply, never holding your breath, even when things get challenging. Breathe through, in and out through your nose. Then exhale, look down at that front foot, unwind your body, plant your hands around that front foot, and then step back to three-legged dog. Left leg up in the air. And then exhale, release that left leg down, coming to downward facing dog, or sinking down to child's pose. Noticing the left and the right side. Maybe feeling a little bit warmer, even though we're moving slowly. Coming to down dog if you're in child's pose, rolling to plank pose. So coming to plank pose and choosing here, either dropping your knees, coming to the tops of your feet, and lowering all the way down, coming through a vinyasa. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, nose to the earth. Press into your hands, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. We'll come to that flow one more time, a little bit faster. So find your breath here. Finding your way back to down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, draw that knee towards your nose and plant your foot in between your hands at the top of your mat. Drop your back knee down and bring your hands to the top of the thigh. Curling your back toes under. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the back knee up. Inhale, release. Exhale, hips low, just straighten that back leg. Inhale, release down one more time. Exhale, straighten the back leg. Feel the stretch. Inhale, release that down. Come to the top of your foot. Sweep your arms up to the ceiling. And then exhale, T-twist open to the right. Left hand on the outside of that right knee. Extending back through those right fingertips. Breathing. Releasing the right hand down your back leg. Sweep your left hand up and over. Reverse revolve. And in the space you created, taking that left elbow, hooking it over the right thigh, bringing your palms together, maybe using this right hand to twist a little deeper into the prayer twist. Staying right here or curling your toes under, straightening that back leg, looking towards the ceiling. One more full round of breath right here, finding your breath in this twisted pose. Then exhale, look down at the front foot, unwind your body, plant your hands down around the front foot, and then step back to three-legged dog. Exhale, float this foot down. Left side now. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, knee towards your nose, plant your foot in between your hands, top of your mat. Drop your back knee down. Come to the top of that foot just for a moment and rise up to crescent lunge. Drawing that left hip back, finding your strong, stable pose here. And then curling your back toes under. Keeping your hips low. Deep inhale here. Exhale, straighten your back leg. Inhale, release. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, release. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, release that foot down. Come to the top of that foot again. And lift your arms up to crescent lunge. Again, rolling your shoulders down your back, reach up for those fingertips. Exhale, T-twist open to the left. Your right hand comes to the outside of that left leg. For a little bit more leverage, reaching back to the left fingertips. Then exhale, bring this left hand down, reaching your right hand up and over. Reverse revolve. Now taking your right arm, hooking it on the outside of the left leg, finding your palms together, that prayer twist, maybe using the left hand to press into the thigh, reaching your right arm a little bit farther into this twist. Staying right here in this twist is an intense pose. If you want to turn up the heat a little bit more, you can curl under your back toes and find your balance on this side. Lifting that back knee up. Find that balance between effort and ease. Balance inhales and exhales. Then exhale, look down at the front foot. Bring your hands around the front foot and step back to three-legged dog. Let your left leg float down into down dog. Inhale and exhale here. Then rolling, bringing your torso coming forward into plank. Rolling towards the fronts of your toes. And one last slow vinyasa here, either dropping your knees or keeping your legs straight. Coming halfway or all the way down. Inhale. Find your back bend. And then exhale. Downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths, either in down dog or your other resting pose is child's pose. If you're in child's pose, raise back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk your hands back over your blanket. Take opposite elbows, ragdoll here at the back of your mat. Release your hands down, gentle bend in your knees. On an inhale, eyes all the way up. Hands up above. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana at the back of your mat. You've done the flow. We'll add on a little bit more before we come down to our mats. If your eyes are closed, open them, release your hands, and take a step over your blanket. So we're over our blanket, and we're going to turn our toes out to the edges, the diagonal, and we're going to separate our feet so that when we have our arms extended out, your feet are right underneath your wrists. So this wide-legged stance here. And let's come to a symmetrical fold here. We've been working the right and the left side. Let's come to a symmetrical fold. So since your toes are out, we're actually going to turn our toes in. We're going to pigeon toe our feet in. So now our toes are in, our ankles are out. Inhale, lift your heart center up towards the ceiling for length. Exhale, fold all the way down. So as you're folded down here, you can keep your hands at your hips. You can release your hands to the earth. Your hands right underneath your shoulders. Or you can also grab ankles, the right hand to the right ankle, the left hand to the left ankle, and just hang up here, shaking the head no, nodding the head yes. And then this forward fold, notice your quadriceps and your kneecaps. Try to draw your kneecaps off your shins, engage your quadriceps. And what this helps do is releases your hamstrings. And always keep a gentle bend, a micro bend in your knees so to not lock out your knees. Then releasing your hands to the mat if they're not already underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift halfway up for length. Bring your hands to your hips. Press down through all four corners of your feet and inhale all the way up to center. Slowly, mindfully. And now come back to the position we started our feet in. So turning your toes out, heels in. Bring your arms, cactus them out to the side. And bend your knees out to the side. Coming to goddess pose. Nice, strong, solid, symmetrical stance. Maybe lifting your toes, bringing the weight into your heels. Now grounding through your toes, lifting your heels for a little bit more intensity. Finding your breath here. Releasing your heels down, maybe sinking a half inch lower. Tucking your tailbone slightly. And getting a little bit more into the side body. Taking your right forearm, placing on your right thigh, sweeping your left fingertips up and over. Just feeling the side stretch. Inhale, come back to cactus arms. And now releasing your left hand, left forearm down, sweeping your right hand up and over. Inhale, goddess. One more time each side. Right forearm down, sweeping the left fingertips up and over. Inhale, center. Exhale, sweeping the right hand up and over, maybe gazing at the ceiling. Inhale, come to goddess. Sinking down, rooting your tailbone. Equal opposite actions here. Lifting your toes maybe, you got this. Strong, solid pose, finding your breath. Now grounding down through all four corners of your feet. Inhale, straighten your legs, straighten your arms, star pose. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Nice job. Now pivot your toes towards the front of your mat and just take a step over your blanket. We're going to come down to the earth in Malasana, Yogi Squat. And since you have your blanket, you can move back and place your heels on your blanket. This gives you a little bit more support, makes the pose maybe a little bit easier. And if your blanket's folded once, you can also fold it again to bring a little bit more cushion underneath your heels. Your feet are a little wider than hip width apart, maybe even mat width apart. Your toes are angled out. And then sink your hips down, coming to Malasana. If my audio is as good as I think it is, you just heard all of my knee cracks, but that's just how I am. I have lots of cracking going on. I know in that cracking, I'm putting my body back together. So finding your Malasana, your arms are on the inside of your knees and thighs, and you're pressing out with your arms, and your legs are pressing back in, creating that long spine. Maybe closing your eyes here, taking a few deep breaths. And then releasing your hands, bringing them next to you, behind you. You can work your way down to come to a seated on your blanket. And bring yourself to the edge of the blanket so your hips are
nice and high rolled forward as we come into Janu Sirsasana. So keeping your left foot in, extending your right leg out to the side. So I will come and face you here. So your hips are on the edge of your blanket to help roll your hips forward. Excuse me. And your left foot is in. You can have your knee out to the side as much or as little as you want, so that left foot is on the inside of that right thigh. Sitting up tall here in the center. And then walking your hands around that extended leg. So your right hand's on the right side, your left hand's on the left side. You're trying to square your torso best you can over that extended leg. Inhale for length and exhale. Just start to walk your hands down towards your foot, letting your heart melt towards your thigh, gazing maybe at your kneecap, or closing your eyes, just noticing the stretch on the back side body or wherever you feel it. Keeping a nice flex in the right toes, so your muscles are engaged on the right side. And you're just letting your body open up gently over time with the help of gravity, never forcing or pushing. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk your hands up towards your body, bringing your torso back to center. And now changing your legs. So bringing your right leg in, your left leg out to the side. Squaring your torso right here to the center. And each side is different, each day is different. You might find this side is more open or more tight. Your job is just to notice without judgment. Then bring your hands around either side of that extended leg, squaring your torso, gazing at your left toes. And then exhale, slowly start to walk your hands down that left leg, releasing your head down, feeling the stretch in the side body, maybe your back. Keeping a nice flex in the left toes. Breathing here. Releasing whatever tension you have. Just letting yourself sink with gravity where your body is going today. And then slowly inhale, walk your hands up to center. Turn your torso back to center. And then extending your legs long. I'm going to flip my blanket back to where it was on the mat. And you're going to use this blanket. You were sitting on the edge of it, so you should still have some behind you. Using your hands, maybe bending your knees, you're going to roll down onto your back. So hopefully the lumbar spine is still supported on this blanket. And when you get here, hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock from side to side. And then plant your hands down next to your hips and lift your feet to the ceiling, candlestick pose. So your hands can be down next to you or out to the side, wherever's comfortable. Our main objective here is just to reverse the flow of blood into our feet, maybe taking even here some ankle rotations, one direction and the other. Taking a few deep breaths, candlestick pose. And then hugging your right knee into your chest, letting your left leg float down, hovering off the earth just for a moment. Nice flex in that left foot.
And now releasing that left foot down to the earth, keeping a flex in the foot. And now keeping your left hand around your right knee, taking your right arm, teeing it out to the side, and helping your right knee tee over, cross your body into a twist. So your right knee is going to the left, your gaze can look straight up at the ceiling. You can drop your head looking off over that right shoulder, a spinal twist. At the end of class, balances the body. And a few deep breaths in the spinal twist. And then keeping the right knee hugged into the chest, come back to this position, right knee in, left leg extended. And then just simply bring both feet all the way up to the ceiling, candlestick pose, before we come to the other side. So now bend your left knee into your chest, let your right foot float down, hover that heel off the earth, and then releasing that heel onto the earth, hugging maybe a little deeper. Keeping the right hand on the left knee, take your left hand out to the side, and then cross this left knee over the body, taking a twist on this side now. Gazing up at the ceiling or back over your left shoulder. Taking a few deep breaths. Balancing out this side. And on your next inhale, slowly come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And then extending the right leg out to the right corner, the left leg to the left corner. You can keep the blanket underneath you if that's comfortable. If it's not, you can roll to one side and maybe take this blanket towards the top of your mat as a pillow and come back to Shavasana. With your legs out and your arms out about 30 degrees from the body, palms towards the ceiling. Closing your eyes here. Maybe slightly tucking your chin. Nice long cervical spine. Shavasana is the most important pose of this entire practice. It's where you integrate the practice. You release the muscles, you release the breath, and take rest. I will bring you out of Shavasana in a few minutes.
slowly start to come back into the space. Moving your fingers, toes, maybe rocking your head from side to side. If you have space above you, lifting your arms up overhead, taking your legs together long down your mat. Take a full body stretch. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, open mouth, sigh it all out. And then hugging your knees into your chest, rocking from side to side. And coming over on your most comfortable side into fetal pose. Just pausing here for a few breaths, offering yourself gratitude for coming to your mat today, for giving this time to yourself. And then taking your top hand, pressing it into the earth, slowly start rising up, coming to a comfortable seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center. Thumbs into sternum and fingers radiating outward. Balancing the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. And I'd like to leave you with these words that I found that has no author that I could see. But these words spoke to me, and especially now. When asked if my cup is half full or half empty, my only response is that I am thankful that I have a cup. May you all be safe at home and treasure the cups you have. The light in me humbly bows to the light in each one of you. Namaste.
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 Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed
Wonderful.
the time. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
That was awesome. Feel
You're
so much
welcome.
better.
Great class, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do you want me to send the recording to you, Amy?
Sure.
Okay. The audio sounded great. It
Oh,
sounded
good.
the whole time. It was very clear.
You're welcome, Victoria. Oh, these sweet messages. Thank you.
I saw 32 of us on it at the very end there.
There was what?
There was 32 of us on
Okay.
at the end. Oh, Janine is here. Awesome.
Great.
Okay, I'm gonna end the meeting. See you guys
All
soon.
right. All Sage. See you all
Bye.
soon.
Lovely day.
Bye.
Enjoy the sun and the weather and yeah, everything. Life.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Good job.
Bye-bye.